coming to you live from the 141st session of the West Alabama Conference. It's the faithful, dedicated women of the Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society of the Jefferson District. Welcome to our Table Talk session, hosted by our very capable missionary president, Mrs. Judy B. Compton.
Good morning, and greetings to all of you. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you here today to the 141st session of the West Alabama Conference. Today, the Jefferson District Women's Home and Overseas Missionary Society would like to share their talk of the table. We have featuring Rachel, Marilyn, Crystal, Betty, and Isola. And of course, yours truly, Judy B. My talk at the table is about transformative service. Transformative service and how the missionaries of the Jefferson District have utilized what they have learned from their study guide for 2019-2023. We want to recognize our missionary supervisor, Mrs. Lorena H. Crenshaw, for chairing the prospective committee. And with that being said, we say thank you, missionary supervisor. In order to carry out the mandate in Matthew 28:19 through 20, you must transform the way you think, the way you view, and the way you practice missional service. Living transformed lives means we continue to learn, to live, to love, to glorify God, and to minister to the poor. We know that living a transformed life involves a change in the lives of those serving and those who are being served. And with that being said, we acknowledge the world for Christ.
My talk at the table is about the Young Adult Missionary Society, also known as the YHOMS. We are living the theme. There are so many needs that need to be addressed. So with our hearts and our hands, we reach up to God for strength and directions. We reach out to love and touch each other. And by reaching out, we have provided resources for the Clean Water Project in Mississippi. We have provided an I Cover You bag for the elderly in the Choctaw, Marengo, and Clark County areas, which provides a blanket, a hat, a pair of gloves, and socks so that they may be warm while they are at the healthcare facilities. We also care for all of our people as we reach down to lift fallen humanity. We provide Ubering their way service to take them for doctor's visits, for appointments, for personal business, and sometimes we just take them out for treats at little to no cost to them because God provides. We also take care of our in-home residents who need care. And when time permits and availability, we assist our neighbors. We remain mission-minded because transformative service still matters.
My talk at the table is the youth of the Jefferson District has been ambassadors for Christ, showing their act of kindness in the community by taking gifts, cards, flowers to the sick and shed-in. Also, the church's own Jefferson District have observed Victoria Richardson Day. If the youth can help someone along life's way, then their living is not in vain. Hats off to all the youth of Jefferson District. To God be the glory for all the great things that the youth have done.
My talk at the table is the buds of promise have been blooming for Jesus all year long. From my buddy subscriptions, which we had over 28 across our district, to learning Bible stories and collecting can tabs from Ronald McDonald House. We also observed Marie L. Clinton Day back in January, but most importantly, we stress our pledge to be reverent to God, useful to man, do God's will, and strengthen our faith with prayer. Working together works, blooming all for Jesus.
My talk at the table is about the faith that the missionaries have and the services they have provided throughout the district. We kept the faith during COVID, and God has strengthened us from it to be able to have the soup kitchen from Lewis Chapel, clothes drive from St. Thomas, COVID supplies from Butler Chapel, stuffed animals for disabled children through the Labor of Love from Springfield, just to name a few. Also assisted in the request for socks and shoes for Africa and the Water Project. So remember, the Bureau of Supply is faith and service.
My talk at the table is to share with you about the Life Member Luncheon. That was a success for virtual program. The luncheon had 40 or more participants. The speaker talked about mission matters and the characteristics that each missionary should exemplify. Also happy to share that we have 1 matron, 2 honorary life members, 8 life members, and 2 replacement with PIN. With these funds, we will continue to support the educational arms of the Tree of Hope. Each one make one.
Thank you for that dynamic, powerful, uplifting presentation from the Jefferson District. Thank you all for tuning in with the Talk of the Table with us today. And before we leave, a special message from our Jefferson District missionaries.
We understood the assignment.